Our reading is from Psalm 92, verses 11 through 15. My eye also has seen my desire on my enemies. My ears hear my desire on the wicked who rise up against me. The righteous shall flourish like a palm tree. He shall grow like a cedar in Lebanon. Those who are planted in the house of the Lord shall flourish in the courts of our God. They shall still bear fruit in old age. They shall be fresh and flourishing, to declare that the Lord is upright. He is my rock, and there is no unrighteousness in him. You may be seated.
Good morning. It's good to see everybody today, and we're glad that you're here. As per normal for South Trail, we have a number of visitors, and we're glad that you've come our direction. And whether you're here in Sarasota for a brief time or whether this is your home, we hope that you'll come back and worship with us on a regular basis. We were blessed at the Bible class hour this morning to hear a missionary report from Jay and Piera Young on the work that was done for a couple of months as they were over in Italy and Ukraine this summer. And so if you were not here for that Bible study, you missed their report and the opportunity to hear all about that. And we'll have more to say, I'm sure, in the future. But again, it was just a blessing to be able to hear about that. You have your Bibles today. Look there in Psalm 92, where Brother Hillard just read for us. And also in your bulletin. On the inside page, there is an outline that may help you if you choose to follow along and fill in some of the blanks as we go through the lesson today. Our subject is going to be about palm trees, and so I was thinking about the environment, and I heard about a fellow that got into some trouble. He was accused of having killed a condor, which is a protected bird. As he appeared in court, the judge was so angry that he had killed this condor, he didn't even listen to the man's explanation or give him the opportunity to plead his case. The judge just slammed down the gavel and said, that'll be 10 years in federal prison. The man was shocked, and he said, Judge, don't you even want to hear my side of the story? The judge reluctantly said, all right, I'm sure it's not worth hearing, but go ahead. He said, well, I'd been out hiking for 3 days. I was lost. It was freezing cold. I had no food. He said, as I sat there with my head in my hands, I looked up, and there was this bird. I picked up a rock, and just on the chance that I might be able to get some food, I threw the rock, and it killed the bird, and I was able to eat and gain strength. And I had to hike for another 3 days before rescuers found me and saved my life. He said, if it weren't for that bird, I wouldn't even be here today. Well, the judge was moved by that story, and he said, all right, based on that story, I'm going to release you. I'm going to wipe out the charges. Just don't ever do something like that again. The man was relieved, to say the least, and turned to go to leave. And the judge said, one more question. He said, just out of curiosity, can you tell me what the condor tasted like? The man said, well, it's kind of hard to describe. And he turned to leave, and then he turned back. He said, well, Judge, the best that I can tell you, somewhere between a bald eagle and a spotted owl. All I can say is, please, just don't hold that against me, okay? That's not... All right. Here in Psalm 92, the psalmist is describing a lament. That is, there's something that's troubling him and something that has been eating and gnawing at his soul. Maybe you have some questions. You look at the world and you say, it's not right. Things aren't the way that it should be. And the psalmist, in various places in the Psalms, will express these laments, all right? Like in Psalm 10 and Psalm 37 and others. The general format of these laments is a praise to God, the cry or lamentation and then close the psalm with, again, praise for the marvelous works and the greatness of our God. In this particular psalm, the question that he asks is, do the wicked really prosper? The human tension is that we look at the world and we say, well, bad people, wicked people should suffer. And good people, righteous people, should prosper. We look at it and we say, you know, this isn't right that somehow people that are doing bad things somehow get away with it. Of course, the problem is solved when we step back and we see things as God does. Our perspective is limited. Our perspective sees that people are prospering for a time, for a season. God says, no, they're not getting away with it. It's not that they won't be held responsible, that they won't give an account. In the day of judgment, every one of us must give account of himself to God. And the most foolish thing that any of us can do is fall into the trap that I have to believe Satan sets for us, and that is to get our feelings all bent out of shape and blame God for things that God says, now hold on. Just wait a minute. It isn't over. It's not all finished. And if you think that what matters most is what matters in this life, you're totally wrong. Completely wrong. You've missed it. You haven't grasped the most basic concept, and that is, just as Brother Don prayed this morning, and I feel for him with the loss of young friends, and 55 and 40, as I get older, are younger and younger. But let me tell you something. This life is not all there is. And we've got to remember that. We've got to think beyond. We've got to say, there's eternity. Talked to somebody today, and they asked me how I was doing, and I said, well, I'm another day older, but I'm another day closer to my reward. All right? I don't want to die at my age, but on the other hand, I want to be ready every single day of my life. Here in this psalm, the psalmist compares the righteous to a tree. I don't know if you've ever thought in your life, well, what kind of a tree would you want to be compared to? All right? What kind of a tree would you want to be compared to? Would you want to be compared to an oak? Would you want to be compared here in Florida? We've got banyan trees. Oh, they're huge. Wonderful for kids to climb in. Not that you should do it without your parents' permission. Okay? Would you want to be a pine tree? Would you want to be a fruit tree? Not that you're fruity. I just mean fruitful. Understand, you can look at all kinds of trees and you might say, well, that's a tree that I admire. Have you ever looked at trees and been inspired? When you see a forest full of them, or maybe when you see a desert scene where trees are prized because they're a relief from the heat, glare of the sun. Imagine what kind of a tree. Here in Psalm 92, the psalmist compares the righteous to a palm tree. In Isaiah chapter 61 and verse 3, listen to what Isaiah says. He's in the comforting, hopeful section that he uses to conclude the book of Isaiah. But in Isaiah 61 and verse 3, listen to this similar construction. To console those who mourn in Zion, to give them beauty for ashes, the oil of joy for mourning, the garment of praise for the spirit of heaviness, that they may be called trees of righteousness, the planting of the Lord, that He may be glorified. Trees planted by rivers of water in Psalm 1 and verse 3. A beautiful description. But I want you to look with me this morning and think about the fact that this has a symbolic meaning. I remember when my daughter Tracy was young, there was a song that she used to love to sing. Great oaks from little acorns grow. It was a simple little song. Great oaks from little acorns grow. To learn and do and grow up to be just like you, great oaks from little acorns grow. Just a simple little song that children have to remind them that they're watching and they're learning and they're growing like their parents. and their mentors and those who influence them. Here, the psalmist uses a palm tree. The palm tree, number one, is a symbol of victory. A symbol of victory. You remember in John chapter 12, verses 12 to 15, as Jesus came into the city of Jerusalem, you remember? They laid down palm branches. This was something that the Romans did when they had a parade, a triumphal parade for one of their generals or war heroes. They would come in and they would wave and lay down palm branches as a symbol for them. So the Romans saw this as a symbol of victory. To the Jews, it went a little further. It was a symbol of peace and plenty. And when Jesus comes in and they lay down these palm branches in front of him, I think there's kind of a combination here. And they say, Hosanna, blessed is he who comes in the name of the Lord, the King of Israel. Don read for us before the Lord's Supper today, there from Jeremiah 31, that there would be a new covenant. And it was the Messiah who would usher in this kingdom, this new covenant, no longer based on the law of Moses, but now based on the covenant of Christ. The new covenant that we have has better things and better promises, as the Hebrew writer talks about. So we see that Jesus is victorious. But it wasn't just that he was victorious in some kind of a general way. No, he was victorious in a very specific way. You have your Bibles, look over at 1 Corinthians 15. And there, Paul, as he's talking about the resurrection, the hope of the resurrection, the anticipation of being raised with Christ, to be incorruptible, immortal, to have that honor of that resurrection body. And so as he comes down to the close, at the end of verse 54, he says, death is swallowed up in victory. O death, where is your sting? O Hades, where is your victory? The sting of death is sin, and the strength of sin is the law. But thanks be to God, who gives us the victory through our Lord Jesus Christ. When Jesus entered Jerusalem, by the end of the week, the same people who had cried out, Hosanna, blessed is he who comes in the name of the Lord, the King of Israel, were crying out, crucify him, crucify him. They forgot. They did not hold on to. If we're going to have that victory, it's going to be because we hold on to what Christ represents. And we're like a palm tree that we represent that victory that is given in Christ. In the book of Revelation, in chapter 7, verses 9 and 10, there's a scene there around the throne, the beauty of heaven. And it says, as John describes what he saw, after these things I looked, and behold, a great multitude which no one could number, of all nations, tribes, peoples, and tongues, standing before the throne and before the Lamb, clothed with white robes, with palm branches in their hands, and crying out a loud voice, saying, salvation belongs to our God, who sits on the throne, and to the Lamb. Palm branches. When you think about the victory that a palm represents, that's the victory that we're going to be able to celebrate in heaven. At least in this inspired description, we're able to hold palm branches in heaven. I don't know if that's literal, but I love the figurative, symbolic meaning that when we're in heaven, we're partakers of victory. We've overcome that which was against us, that which was contrary to us, that which would have sentenced us to eternity in hell. We've overcome in Christ. We ought to help others to overcome so that they too could say like Paul, finally there is laid up for me a crown of righteousness, which the Lord, the righteous judge, shall give to me in that day, and not to me only, but to all those who love his appearing. 2 Timothy 4:8. There's victory, peace, plenty. Number 2, the palm tree is, and this is a big word, but I want to explain it, endogenous. E-N-D-O-G-E-N-O-U-S. Endogenous. And its growth is significant. Now you say, well, what does endogenous mean? It means that starting from within. The growth is internal. The Webster says that it's increasing in internal growth without distinction or pith or wood or bark, as in the palm. Okay? So Webster uses the palm tree as a description of this. It grows internally. Do you realize as Christians, we're not just growing on the outside? Now that's a whole other subject for another day, all right? Unless you're a young person that hasn't reached maturity. But if we're growing on the outside, that's just another discussion that we can have later. But understand that the Christian is growing spiritually on the inside. Look with me at Ephesians chapter 4 and look at what Paul says, because this is the way we're supposed to grow. In Ephesians 4, 20 to 24, Paul reminds the Ephesians, he's given them all of this doctrinal foundation. And he says, now, we're going to have responsibility for how we use this, and especially as we grow together, as we work together as Christians, as we work together in the church. The only way this is going to work is if we individually grow internally. Look at what Paul says in Ephesians 4:20. But you have not so learned Christ, if indeed you have heard Him and have been taught by Him, as the truth is in Jesus, that you put off concerning your former conduct the old man which grows corrupt according to the deceitful lust, and be renewed in the spirit of your mind, and that you put on the new man which was created according to God in true righteousness and holiness. True righteousness and holiness. Here's what's interesting to me. I love sports. I love reading about athletes. I like to hear about their training. I like to hear about the way in which they have developed their skills. And the regimen, the routine that they go through, it's just incredible. I remember seeing on television, though I lived in Dallas at the time, I saw Nolan Ryan pitch his 7th no-hitter. 44 years old. The thing that was amazing to me was, as they were writing about Nolan Ryan at 44 years old, throwing a no-hitter, they described his work routine, his regimen. And they said, every day, this is what Nolan Ryan does. And I don't remember the whole routine, but I know this. The newspaper reported, because it was significant, the day after, at 44 years old, his 7th no-hitter, they said the next morning, Nolan Ryan was right back out doing what he had always done. He was right back to his training, right back to his regimen. And you think about that, you don't take one day off. You don't slack off even for just a short time. His longevity in the sport of Major League Baseball was because of that routine. And I thought, Christians, it's so true. If we're not studying the Bible and praying and meditating, when I say study the Bible, I don't just mean reading it. If we're not seeking to understand how it fits together, if we're not growing so that we can answer questions that our friends and neighbors have, I don't mean all of them, and I don't mean right off the top of your head, but what I mean is if our faith hasn't developed so that we have a better understanding today than we did 10 years ago, 20 years ago, 50 years ago, if you're not growing, can I tell you, you're probably dying. There's no in between. The palm tree is endogenous. It grows from within, and so must be Christians. We must grow from inside. Our growth is inward. And there's no saturation point. There's no point at which you say, well, that's enough is enough. I've grown all I can grow. I will tell you that I have known Christians who were growing well into their 90s, who were growing into, after they had reached 100, there was no stopping their spiritual growth because of their desire to know the Lord. Thirdly, the palm tree is constant. I don't know how the best way to describe it, but look over in Ephesians 3, verses 16 and 17. Here's a prayer that Paul prays for the Ephesians, and he says that he would grant you, according to the riches of his glory, to be strengthened with might through his Spirit in the inner man, that Christ may dwell in your hearts through faith, that you being rooted and grounded in love. And he goes on, that you may understand, comprehend the love of God. Understand, grounded and rooted. Paul says the same things to the Colossians in Colossians 2, 6 and 7. Grounded and rooted. The palm tree has a longevity. Many of them can be well over 100 years old. They will grow in the blazing sun. They will grow with sometimes very little water. There are over 2,600 varieties of palm trees. The palm tree is a constant in many places around the world, not where it freezes. I was thinking about this week that one of the things, I don't know that I have seen very many advertisements, whether pictures or commercials or anything else, where if they tried to show where you ought to go for vacation, if they were trying to promote some tropical place, that there wasn't a palm tree in that picture. There's just something about that. And you say, well, that's why we're here. That's why we're in Sarasota, is because of the palm trees. We're here because of the weather, sunshine, the water, the beach. Yes, the palm tree is constant. And look at how this constancy might be seen. First of all, the palm tree cannot be grafted. It's got to be pure. It can't be mixed. There's no compromise. Jesus warned his disciples. He said, beware of false prophets who come to you in sheep's clothing, but inwardly they're ravenous wolves. He went on, that was Matthew 7:15. In Matthew 15:13, he said, every plant which is not planted by my Father shall be uprooted. John warned Christians in 1 John 4:1, do not believe every spirit, but test the spirits whether they be of God, because many false prophets have gone out into the world. When we think about the truth, the purity of New Testament Christianity, there's just no room for compromise. There's no room for changing doctrinally what God has said. You see, the palm tree is constant because it cannot be grafted. It's pure. Only God can make a tree, and only God can make a child of God. If you're a child of God, it's because God made you in His image. It's because you obeyed the gospel. You've been baptized into Christ, born again, washed of all your sins, and He added you to His church. That pure teaching, non-negotiable. It's unchanging. It's constant. Secondly, the palm tree is fruitful and useful. It's useful for furniture. It's useful for clothing. It's useful for food. There's the date palm. There's the coconut palm. There's even a starch that comes called sago. Okay? There are so many different uses. Oil that the palm tree produces. Its fibers can be used for rope, for all kinds of materials. I read a list of over 360 uses of the palm tree. All right? Be thankful I'm not going to read the whole list to you. All right? Understand the palm tree is fruitful and useful. God blesses people when they have palm trees available when they're in need. You think about being stuck on a deserted island. You know, stuck in a desert and you're looking for something. You want a palm tree. It can produce shade. It can give you even furniture. Things like rattan furniture are made from the palm tree or one of the kinds of a palm tree. It is so useful in the way that the palm tree, God made it. And I thought about this, and I was recently given this poem. And it's a writing that Kathy Faust shared with me, and I want to share it with you. And it says, in whose hands? A basketball in my hands is worth about $19. A basketball in Kobe Bryant's hands is worth $30 million a year. It depends whose hands it's in. A baseball in my hands is worth about $6. A baseball in Prince Fielder's hands is worth $23 million this year. It depends whose hands it's in. A tennis racket is useless in my hands. A tennis racket in Roger Federer's hands is a Wimbledon championship. It depends whose hands it's in. A rod in my hand will keep away a wild animal. A rod in Moses' hand will part the mighty sea. It depends whose hands it's in. A slingshot in my hands is a kid's toy. A slingshot in David's hand is a mighty weapon. It depends whose hands it's in. 2 fish and 5 loaves of bread in my hands is a couple of fish sandwiches. 2 fish and 5 loaves of bread in Jesus' hands will feed thousands. It depends whose hands it's in. Nails in my hands might produce a birdhouse. Nails in Jesus Christ's hands will produce salvation for the entire world. It depends whose hands it's in. As you see now, it depends whose hands it's in. So we can put our concerns, our worries, our fears, our hopes, our dreams, our families, and our relationships in God's hands, because it depends whose hands it's in. When you think about how fruitful and useful Jesus said, "Herein is my Father glorified, that you bear much fruit." John 15:8. God wants to bear fruit in us. The palm tree is constant. It's fruitful and useful. And then thirdly, there under the constant letter C, the older it becomes, the better its fruit. Literally, here in Psalm 92 and verse 14, when it talks about its old age, in the English Standard Version it says, full of sap and green, speaking of that old age. In the Geneva Bible it says, fat and flourishing. Okay? You realize that the older you get, you're supposed to be full of sap and green, not old and dried up as sometimes we kind of picture it. Age, maturity brings more fruitfulness. Now that fruitfulness comes from wisdom. That flourishing comes because you see the giftedness that God has given you. Can I tell you that the fruitfulness of the church is not because we're all one thing. There are Bible teachers, and we need Bible teachers. There are servants, some who can wash feet, and we need people to wash feet. There are people who are good with seniors. There are people who are good with children. Okay? And I am so thankful for those who can handle the nursery. I'm so thankful for those who will teach the 2s and the 3 years old, because if I ever were put in that position, okay, it's one way to spell failure. Okay? Understand, I'm so thankful for the variety. There are some who are gifted with hospitality. There are some who are gifted with encouragement. There are some who are gifted with comforting. Those who have lost or grieving. There are many of you who have experienced life in such a way that you are perfectly gifted to help others who go through similar circumstances. Don't ever, no matter how old you get, don't ever say, I'm done. You may not do what you used to do, but that just means you've grown to the point where you can do something else. God has blessed you. God has blessed you. The palm tree is constant. The older it becomes, the better its fruit. We see that. Fourthly, the palm tree is a blessed sight to travelers. Blessed sight to travelers. Just think what it means. It's oftentimes that it's palm trees that are there with an oasis. There's water. There's a source to give life. Jesus said, if you drink from the water that I give you, it will spring up into you into waters everlasting. Waters of life. Psalm 1:3, the waters, the tree planted by the rivers of water. Life. It is something to see. There is shade. There is water. People can't eat most flowers, but people can eat from a palm tree. We're supposed to be the righteous who flourish, who prosper like a palm tree. When you look at the story of the Bible, in the Garden of Eden there were 2 trees. There was a tree of the knowledge of good and evil, and Adam and Eve ate of that tree, and they had to be driven out of the garden because of the other tree, the tree of life. They lost access to that tree of life. In Revelation 22, in heaven, there's the tree of life. It grows and it's on either side of the roadway. It's on either side of the river. What we see is that tree. It's interesting that this is not inspired, so don't repeat this as being a gospel, but in the Jewish writing of the Kabbalah, which is kind of a mystic writing from the Torah, the Jewish tradition is that the tree of life, here it comes. Guess what kind of tree? A palm tree, all right? You could see that coming a mile away. A palm tree, the tree of life. The fruit in its seasons, it has its fruit every month there in Revelation 22. The tree of life. When we start thinking about going home, when we start thinking about seeing that tree of life and having what was lost there in the Garden of Eden restored in that paradise in heaven, in the middle there's another tree. And I don't know if it was a palm tree, but there was a tree that was cut down and it was fashioned into a cross. And Jesus was nailed to that tree. Back in Deuteronomy 21, 22, and 23, it said, "Cursed is everyone who hangs on a tree." Paul repeats that in Galatians 3:13 because that was Paul's stumbling block. He thought if Jesus died in that manner, he had to be opposed to God. He had to be punished for his own sins. He didn't understand that what Jesus was being punished, in a sense, for was he was taking our penalty. The just for the unjust. The righteous for the unrighteous. But that was a tree that Jesus died upon. So we look at the story of the Bible, and it's a story of several trees. What was lost from the beginning, we want to regain in the end. And the only means, the only bridge by which we can come back to God is by the sacrifice of Jesus Christ. The palm tree is a blessed sight to travelers. The tree of life, to allow you to overcome the doubt, the disillusionment, the discouragement, the challenges that have happened to you that may cause you to question. Just like this psalmist in his lament, why things are the way they are, but don't ever lose sight of that number one fact, that God is, and God is good. God is faithful. And He's provided you everything that you need to be able to see that tree of life. And if it's a palm tree that you'll say, I remember Terry preaching that on August 25th, 2013. No, you won't. Can I tell you why you won't remember that sermon? Even if you remember it until the day you die, when you get to heaven, you know what's going to be the overpowering, overwhelming thought in your mind? I'm in the presence of Almighty God, before His throne, and the Lamb that was slain for the sinners of the world. I heard a story about a man that went to a baseball card show. You may say, how is Terry going to get a story out of this? This man went to this baseball card show, and there were a lot of dealers there, and this one man had his table out, and stacks of cards or boxes of cards. This man came over and started looking. The dealer could tell by the earnestness, the way that this man was going through the cards, he was looking for something. And this guy in his mouth started watering, and he's thinking, I'm going to make some money. He's probably looking for one of those rare rookie cards of Roger Hornsby or Babe Ruth or Lou Gehrig, something that's really valuable. It may be worth several hundred or several $1,000s. Finally, the man had gone through a couple of boxes, and he just looked at the dealer and he said, do you happen to have a 1933 Jack Christensen card? Well, the dealer's heart sank. Jack Christensen was no big famous baseball player. He played maybe 3 or 4 years, barely broke 200, the Mendoza line as far as his batting average. He just wasn't much of a player. The man said, well, I might have one of those cards here in this box, and so he gets another box with some of the other cards, and the dealer's thinking, the best I'm going to get out of that is maybe $2, $3. That card's only worth maybe $2.50. The man's looking through the cards. He's going through it, just going to town. He comes out and he goes, I found it. I found it, 1933, Jack Christensen. The dealer looks at him and he says, all right. The man, before he can even tell him the price, reaches into his back pocket, pulls out his wallet, pulls out some bills, $100, $200, $300, $400, $500. He looks at the dealer and he says, is that enough? Because I'll get more if I need it. The man said, no, that's plenty, knowing in his heart that it wasn't worth anything like that. The man gathered up his things, gathered up that card, smiling from ear to ear. The dealer said, wait a minute. He said, I can't let you do this. He said, that card's only worth $2.50. Why are you willing to pay $500? That card's not worth anything to anybody. He looked at him, he said, it is to me. He said, you see, Jack Christensen is my father. Jack Christensen was my father. The value of that card was based on the relationship. Here in Psalm 92, if you look at the end, where is the tree planted? The house of the Lord. The house of the Lord. I will tell you that some people will hear that and they'll say, well, that doesn't mean anything to me. It's in your relationship. It's in Him knowing you and you knowing Him. To be known of God and to know God's love and to have that relationship, it places a value that others can't even comprehend. It's worth more to us because we're planted in the house of the Lord. In the church, Christians belong to God. We're His family. And that makes us brothers and sisters together. And we've got to get along. And I don't mean it's always easy, but we don't have a choice. I mean, we've got to die trying, okay? Because of our relationship with God. We've got to value what God has given us. And the righteous can flourish like a palm tree. Today, do you have that relationship that makes that so special? You wouldn't even think about missing worship on Sunday morning, the Lord's Day, because that's time with your God and your family, your brothers and your sisters. Oh, that's not optional. That's something that's absolutely, it's the life flow to your heart. You wouldn't dare miss the time with the Lord every day in reading the Bible, studying the Bible, and praying and meditating on His Word, because that's the renewal. The righteous shall flourish like a palm tree. Today, you don't have that. If this symbol doesn't mean anything to you, can I just encourage you to enter into that relationship with God, putting your trust in Him, turn from your sins? Jesus said, except you repent, you will all likewise perish. On the day of Pentecost, they were told, repent, let every one of you be baptized in the name of Jesus Christ. There's the authority for the remission of your sins, and you shall receive the gift of the Holy Spirit. If you want to live, there's where it starts. If today, as a Christian, you realize you've drifted away from that and you want to get back so that that life can fill your life and you can have the abundant life, you're not worried about whether the wicked prosper because